Thank you everyone for joining us for our webinar today. My name is Randy Cochrane. I am the Director of National Growth and Development for Equity Real Estate. Equity Real Estate is an independent real estate company. We're currently operating in 26 states. We have 2 more coming online here in the next short period of time, and we're super excited to have Kristin Matulonis with us today. She runs Equity's property management division for Equity. And as today's webinar was titled, it's Property Management, Real Estate's Hidden Gem. And Kristin is going to be sharing with everybody today how to make money with property management in your real estate business. And we're super excited to have her today. So Kristin, I'm going to turn the time over to you, and then we'll take some questions here at the end.
Sounds wonderful. Thanks so much for having me. And yes, I truly do believe and have seen the advantage of property management in your real estate sales business. So I'm excited to share this information. My name, again, is Kristin Matulonis. I've been with Equity since 2010. I've been doing property management since 2007. And yeah, let's get started. So here at Equity, we do have a property management division where all agents, as long as within the brokerage in the state, we're set up there, all agents within Equity can actually participate in both property management and sales. So we actually will set up the state and work with the division to ensure that you can do both. And that is what I think the best utilization of your license is, to be able to utilize it in all capacities. All right. So Equity Real Estate, the property management division, we started in 2011. And what it was, why we started was there were issues within Equity itself as far as agents doing property management. At the time, that really wasn't allowed. But what we found was that, wow, agents are going to be doing this. They know that it's beneficial for them for many reasons. Some of the top reasons were, and still are, when you have a client that is not able to sell their home per se, or they're interested in maybe renting it for a bit rather than selling it, for whatever reason that is. Maybe there's a personal reason or a business reason or a tax reason. The agents are often left to go, oh, great, I'm going to go ahead and refer this client over to another agency that does property management. They're going to have this property for a year or even longer. They're going to develop a relationship with my clients. And ultimately, most property management companies somehow have it either in the contract or just by organic relationship, they're going to end up selling that property, and I'm going to lose that client and all that hard work and relationships. Likewise, sometimes they would say, hey, I'm going to send over, this referral to this property management company. And a lot of times they found that they weren't getting the referral back, either and the person or even compensation. So that there was a huge need for this, and Equity said, you know what, agents are doing this anyway, and we need to support them, and we need to allow them somehow to do it. So we started this division based on the fact that we were having issues, but we saw a need. And so, yeah, we developed it, and it's been great to be able to have agents do it, but we take everything off that might be a legal issue or a compliance issue, and we provide a lot of training and support for them. So our goals and objectives in this property management, that started back in 2011, but resonates through today, is growth. We really see and know and that there is a growth model within doing property management for your real estate business. So we want to see that. That's number one. Obviously, education is very important. We want to be able to be cutting edge, always on top of things. Property management is a different business than just a real estate sales. So it requires its own tools, its own training, its own know-how, its own day-to-day. So we want to provide the best education, and then of course the support It can be very mundane, this business, and there's a lot of details to it that that are time consuming. And so we want to be able to provide that support so that agents can go out and they do what they do best, which is make relationships, do sales, not necessarily all the nitty-gritty office work that is required in property management. So some of the things we provide are the softwares and tools. So we will make sure that, you know, agents aren't reinventing the wheel. We're doing applications, backgrounds, credit checks. We have an inspection app that's wonderful. You take pictures on it. You fill in a few checkbox. You can make notes in it, and it actually creates a PDF that you can send right from your app to your owner, your tenant, and it uploads into our system for a historical basis. We offer all the marketing and online syndication, and then we do not want any agent having to ever be concerned about handling other people's money. So we just take that right off the board and we handle it all, and we have multiple ways a tenant can be paid or an owner can be paid. We also provide all the legal services. We'll make sure that you have all the necessary paperwork. And even when it comes to a situation where, oh my gosh, there's not an addendum or any language in the contract for this particular situation. You bring that to us, we're going to have our legal team look it over and make sure that everything is on the up and up, and we'll provide that to you. Of course, the resources, the trainings, we provide liability as well as E&O insurance. E&O insurance is generally what is provided for real estate brokerage, but we actually have a separate liability policy, which is important in property management because on a day-to-day basis, you know, you might be turning over a property and oops, you forget to make sure that the heat is turned up and now the pipes freeze. That's not something that you necessarily have issues with sales. So there's just some individualized liability issues that arise from property management that do require additional liability coverage. So more or less our whole system is, we have it where it's a plug and play system. So once you do one, you're going to be mentored all the way through. And then it's very much, we kind of capture our system on the way a sales transaction works, you know, from showing homes to writing that contract to the due diligence and financing and then the closing. We kind of take that same concept because that's what agents are used to. And we do that in as best we can and apply that to your property management business. Costs and fees. Essentially, we don't require that you charge a certain fee necessarily. We want you to be competitive in your market, but also competitive individually for your own business plan. There is a small setup fee. So again, for the management fees, you can charge anything that you like. Typically, we're seeing between 8 and 12%. And then as far as what EPM takes of that, we are 30% and the agent is 70%. Now, once you get to 21 properties, that percentage drops to an 80-20 split. So you're getting 80% equity, will receive 20. There is a setup fee of $120. That's on any property that is new to the system, and it's based on tax ID, not on the door. So a duplex would be just one setup fee. There's also several other fees that within the property.
Kristin, you're accidentally muted. Can you unmute?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yeah, we're good. Okay. So all these other fees that are very common in the industry, we want to give those right back to the agent. So you benefit from all of those fees. We don't tell you what to charge. We give you kind of, you know, we'll educate you for the industry, maybe for your area. But more or less those go right to you. Equity doesn't charge those. Now, a tenant placement fee and an early termination fee. Tenant placement fee is where you are not doing the full management. It is something where you are just placing a tenant, and there is some liability on equities end, as well as some accounting and compliance work. So it is split and as a 90-10 split. And the same thing with an early termination. If you negotiate with your tenant to pay a fee to terminate early, then there is also some work on our end. So we do charge a 90-10 split, but we really want the majority of the money that you are making within your business. And again, this is your business fund. We want you to be however you want to set it up. We're here to just support that. We want you to receive the majority of your work, of your compensation. Okay, here's why property management is a hidden gem. I'll give an example case study here in a minute, but on average, those that are participating in the program, they are closing almost 3 more deals a year on average. There are several agents that say that, hey, all I do is market my tenants and my owners, and I'm closing 10, 12, 14, 18 property or 18 deals a year on the sell side, while at the same time managing. Property management increases your pipeline quite a bit. Like I said, you could just focus on your property management as your pipeline. But if not, you're also increasing because you're getting out there, right? The more you get out there, the more you introduce yourself, the more you become a professional and expert in your field. You're increasing that. But we do see on average that those participating in the program are increasing their pipeline about 52%. And then their annual revenue on average increases about 36%, which can be pretty significant, especially in a down market. That's what I love about property management too. I'm not a commission person. I stress about it, but property management is consistent in both a monthly income, but it does not shift whatsoever with the market at all. Never has. So it's one of those things is where, yes, rents go up and down, but it's always there, right? So whether you have a great market going on, you've got investors buying and they're wanting management, right? Or you have a down market where now owners are thinking, hey, it's not as easy to sell, and so I'm going to switch over to management. That's really kind of how we see the ebb and flow of the market is, are we dealing more with investors, or are we dealing more with owners that are just not able to sell that property at that time, and they find it, hey, this is more beneficial. So here's case study, and this case study is actually from an individual who knows it, which would be me. This is me. So I got my license in 2007. It was a down market, obviously. We were into the recession. And I had to do something with my license, dropped out of school, thought, okay, real estate's where it's at. It's been great for a few years. I'm gonna get in. Just typical, right? That's generally how most agents get in, is they see, oh, the big bucks. So I started managing properties, and I was making just enough to cover my car payment in 2007. And about a year of managing these properties, I ended up working with the tenants, and I was managing about 24 properties by this time. And also with one of the owners, and I closed 11 real estate deals in 2008. And again, all I did was do my management and really work with those tenants to become buyers. By 2011, I was managing 46 stores, and within that, I could pay my mortgage. I could also pay for 2 car payments on a monthly basis. So that was really relieving to be like, okay, at least I've got consistency with an income there. In 2011, I closed 21 real estate deals, and it was my only thing that I did was market to my tenants and my investors. And by the way, when I say investors, I maybe had a couple investors. Majority of them were just single property owners. And then by 2014, I had switched where my full-time income was property management, but I still managed to close 8 deals. And wow, it was awesome to be able to have this side money, right, within real estate, where, oh, I don't have to worry about the commission. But instead I invested in my first property, and then year over year, whenever I do close real estate, that is my first objective is to invest in properties. So now I have my own portfolio. So you can see that this timeline from 2007, 2014, it's 7 years. Whereas, yes, there is definitely potential within property management. It's also not glamorous, and it's not instantaneous. It's a work. Bringing on properties, it's grudging for a long while. You've got to be consistent with it, and really where it makes a difference is volume. And once you start seeing that volume, it's amazing how when people all of a sudden know you do property management and you get to about 10 to 15 properties, all of a sudden you're almost starting to really turn down business in a way, because you're like, oh my gosh, I've got so many people asking me, and it really increases a lot by then. Today within our program, we have 100 agents. On average, they're seeing about 2,300. So in a monthly income, and that's steady income. 20% of our agents are earning between 6,000 and 18,000 a month, with just doing property management. And every single one of them are still doing sales. So again, they're utilizing both avenues, both potentials of their license by doing both management and then of course being able to do the sales. So it's working, and it's so awesome to see that my experience, I can see it translate into for other agents. We have one agent, for example, that he said, you know what, I hate my job. I'm in an apartment. I got to change something. And he started out with 1, 2, 3, and he grew, and he's been with the program now for 9 years. And he manages about 85 properties, and he, of course, he quit that job. His average closings is around 12 deals a year. So he's closing 1 a month. And he's bringing in about $16,000 a month. He also started because he saw a need for a handyman business. He started that as well. So he has a hired handyman. So he's also making money off of that. There's a lot of auxiliary industries that relate to property management. And we do see a lot of the agents, something clicks. There's several that say, oh my gosh, I'm going to start a cleaning business. So now they've got revenue from there. And I think everybody knows that you've got to have multiple sources of income. And this is just one of those ways to do that with your license. Here's kind of our full service aspect. So, your commission 70%. This is what an agent's responsibilities would be, and then what we provide. So that's really, I can go into this a little bit further, but more or less, we refer to agents as the relationship makers, the boots on the ground, the individuals who are the face that are out there and growing their business. What we are is essentially, we're your back office. We're your support team. We do the nitty gritty kind of things that you just don't have time for. And then of course you can always be assured that if something comes up on a legal standpoint, which it does in property management quite often, that somebody's got your back and we know how to take care of it. And more or less we take it off your plate completely. For example, we don't like you serving notices like a 3-day pay or quit or a lease violation notice. We don't want you to go to the property and serve that. We'll take care of that for you. It's both a safety issue, but we want to make sure that legally we're doing everything that is correct. But you also just don't have the time to go and run by that property in the middle of the day. You're busy. So we really want to try to keep you doing what you're good at, and we'll do what we're good at. But Randy, that's what I have. I know there's a lot of information, but I'd love to see if there are any questions. at this point.
Well, I think you've covered a lot today, Kristen. What's really exciting for for me as a broker, especially as I know, I know, and I have confidence that if the agents in my offices are doing property management, that they're doing property management correctly.
Mhm.
But also, one thing that I really like about agents that are doing property management as a broker is our retention is much higher for the agent. And I heard you mention not too long ago that if you're a broker and you have an agent in your office and they're doing property management, the retention rate's like 92%. Is
That's
that a
correct. Yeah.
number?
Yeah, as a broker, this is a great way for retention, both recruitment and retention. Recruitment because it's another aspect that maybe an agent is already doing or has been interested in, but there are very few brokerages out there that are offering this kind of service. It's usually sales. I'm focusing on sales, or I'm focusing on property management, and less on property management. But yes, it is very, very hard for an agent to leave a brokerage that has what we have, and is making what they are making to go and do property management elsewhere. So 92% is accurate. Out of the 100 agents that we are currently have in the program, they're staying and they're long term. These agents are long term. Most of them we've had for years and years and years. So once they join, they're hooked. So it's hard to leave.
Well, and I like the point that you made about um, the the multiple streams of income for an agent. We always suggest that our agents do have different streams of income for their business because it does take the peaks and valleys out or the ebb and flow and really does stabilize their business.
Yes.
One of the questions that we have is about startup fees, and another question is what if you're an agent and you have your own properties? How can equity facilitate the management of those as well?
Yes. So I'm going to throw out our owner agent. So let's talk about that first. So we absolutely want to give a benefit to our owner agents. It's great that you're doing this. We actually want you to do more. We want you're experienced in it. So we would love to see you out there actually managing others' property well as well. So um, basically, we do have an owner agent. It's $55 a month. It's just a flat fee for a single family. And then it's $45 per door for multifamily. So anything after 4 units is an additional $5 a door. But you can utilize the system the same way. We'll take care of the accounting, the legal. The only thing that we don't, so you're using the applications, the paperwork, everything is there. All the services are there. We just can't provide you that liability and E&O insurance because that is just not a thing that states recognize and the division for your license recognizes. So it's a conflict of interest more or less. But yeah, we have full training for owner agents as well because there's some nuances that as an owner agent you need to be aware of. So yeah, it's a great program. It's very affordable, and you don't have to do the accounting portion of it, which is really great. So. And then the other question, as far as startup fees, as a broker and as an owner, there are no startup fees whatsoever to join property management. To start, you need to have what do we call a good landlord certificate, or 4 hours of your basic fair housing training or property management law within your particular state. And that can be any sort of CE. Once you have that, so that is actually a prerequisite. So you have to have that. Once you have that, that's when you are actually able to onboard with the program. And then what's also wonderful with our program is you have a dedicated individual who will literally walk you through every aspect of it. We have online training for it, so you can, you can do a little at a time or do it all at once. And once you get your first property, she's going to walk you through it. Once you are in your leasing stage, she's going to walk you all the way through it. So after they move in, you still have access to her, but most agents are like, okay, like I said, plug and play, right? Like start from A to B on a transaction. We're going to walk you through that. And then most agents are like, oh, I got this. So, and if not, you still have that support.
Awesome. And how does an agent contact you?
Yeah. So, oh, here's some training options within certain states. So you're going to contact Amber Quinn. She's our agent relations manager. And this is her, just amber@equitypmusa.com. You can also contact our office, and they'll start you on the process of onboarding and just answer any further questions that you may have with the management. For brokers, same thing, reach out to Amber. And we can start the setup process if you aren't already set up. If we haven't set up in the state, then we'll start doing that. But yep.
Fantastic. And everybody that's with us today, hang on one second. I want to thank Kristin for joining us today and definitely sharing all this information. And if you have questions, reach out. They do an amazing job. I know our agents that are working with property management absolutely love them. And again, it is a great additional stream of income for your business. So thanks again for joining us today, Kristin, and we look forward to helping you grow the property management division.
And I look forward to helping agents grow their business. So it's great. Thanks
Awesome.
again for having me.
You bet. Before everybody goes, one of the things that I want to mention is for those of you not familiar with equity real estate, we are a flat fee full service company, which is also a benefit to you and your business because what that means is you're keeping more of your hard-earned commissions, especially when you're converting your property management clients into additional, they're buying additional properties from you, or you're going out and you're selling an income property and the person says, I want to be a property owner. I want to get into investing, but the last thing I want to do is manage properties because I've heard the horror stories. And the good news is we get to help you through that process. So with the set fee model, you're have some cost predictability in your business. We're going to give you all the support and resources and tools that you need to grow your business. It's scalability. So what that allows you to do is continue to do your traditional real estate business and then just really add that property management component so that you can continue to earn income in multiple ways. Also, we have as equity, we're in 26 states. As I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, we have 2 more opening. Our goal is to be in all 50 states. And we definitely are always looking for fantastic agents in the states that we're already open and operating in. But at the same time, we're definitely looking for hungry, humble, smart, and professional brokers that would like to open up an equity office with us all around the country and include property management in your business. Currently, Equity is doing commercial, residential, the property management. We have a relocation division. And so if you would like to schedule an appointment with me, all you have to do is scan the QR code in the top right-hand corner. You can also visit itsallinthe.com to learn more about equity. And then my phone number, 801-573-4935. You're welcome to call or text me anytime. But our goal, not just for our equity agents with the company to grow and increase their business, but really show agents with other companies what's possible in their business. I know as a broker in Arizona, A lot of the companies there don't allow their agents to do property management, which my feeling is that that broker's really holding an agent back from their full potential of growing their business. So reach out to us. We're here to help you. And as always, we appreciate you taking time out of your day. This webinar replay will be posted on our YouTube channel. For those of you that joined us today, we'll be emailing out to you a copy of the PowerPoint presentation so that you can have that to go back and reference. And as always, go out, be powerful, be productive, and most of all, be safe in your real estate business. So thanks again for joining us, everybody. We'll see everybody soon on our next webinar, and have a great day.